This is a call for integrity. If we're going to bring health to our bodies, we cannot be bringing in toxins and frankenfoods that disrupt the integrity of our cells. The same holds true in our relationship with telling the truth versus lying. If you're not coming from an integral place, founded in honesty, love, and respect, then you're swinging yourself out here calling this the truth when it's not. This is the truth. And anything that the degree to which you're lying is the degree to the pain that you're going to feel, whether it's mental torment or physical torment. So when our elected officials are lying and covering things up, they're taking us from a strong place of integrity and swinging us out here away from our foundation. And the further we're swung out, the more fragile and vulnerable to disease we're going to be. The more pain we're going to experience, the more we're going to know that things aren't in alignment. It will be felt. And this is true for our bodies, it's true in our relationships, but it's also true politically. Lies, like inflammation, get in the way of health. Everyone's talking right now about USAID and the incredible findings and savings that are happening for our country. Anybody who's opposed to that is rooting for lies. It's not even a partisan issue. We need to have accountability for the money that's being spent. And so with that, I want to give a shout out to Officer Tatum, whose podcast I watch just about daily. I'm going to use a clip from his show so that you can also go and support his work.
$20 million for Iraqi Sesame Street, $2 million for Moroccan pottery classes, $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash, $27 million to give gift bags to illegals before we deport them, millions to help Afghanis grow crops instead of opium. That program was such a success that opium production doubled. We also gave Afghanistan $300 million to build diesel fuel power plants, but they couldn't use them because diesel was too expensive. $200 million on a dam that was too unsafe to ever be used. We could have used that dam in California. $250 million on a road that was never used. We literally built a road to nowhere.
I don't know why the Moroccan pottery classes stick with me so much. Maybe it's because parents struggle for programs. We can't afford to be putting them into all of the sports and the pottery classes because those cost a lot of money. And as individual families, Americans are really struggling. So $20 million towards supporting our own children in programs could really change lives here in the United States. I think about North Carolina, I think about Maui, I think about East Palestine, and all of the other places that have been devastated here in the United States, and they got a $750 loan. They had to qualify for the $750 loan. So it is outrageous that we're not living from this integral place, but we are swung way out here as a country in where our money is going. And in order for us to be healthy and to become a strong country again, we need to bring that in and be rooted in our foundations and in our strength. From there, we can help other people and other countries to thrive. But first, let's swing ourselves back into this place of integrity and strength. Let's take our spending from way out here and swing it back into this place of integrity.
Oh, and we gave Syrians $9 million for humanitarian aid, but someone messed up and it went to Al-Qaeda. $1 million for bat research in Wuhan. That equates to $1 million for each dead American. USAID was funding Fashion Week in Paris. France isn't even paying its NATO dues, and we're paying for their Fashion Week. USAID is a $40 billion deep state social justice slush fund.
With money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money. With the money, I'd like to see what the kickbacks are. How much money has been kicked back? Who would spend that kind of money?
Burisma got a contract with USAID through Hunter. It was so shady that the Obama White House was like, nice try, and canceled it. USAID was pouring billions into the hands of open borders groups. We were literally funding the invasion and buying them gift bags as they left.
Yeah, if that don't boil your blood a little bit, I don't know what else to get you started. I'm so upset. I try to not to be, making y'all all outraged every day, but I'm just so upset at what the government has been doing with our money. We can't get it back. That's the thing. They spend billions of dollars and just throw money in the trash. This right here says $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. We got stuff at home. People sitting on the corner starving. There's veterans who can't get proper coverage. Like, what the is going on here? And we spending $300 million. I don't know if y'all missed that. He didn't say the number. $330 million to help Afghanis grow crops. $330 million? $300 million to build diesel fuel power plants that didn't go nowhere. $200 million unused Afghani dam that didn't work. $250 million on a road in Afghanistan and they never used. This is over $1 billion right here, or near it, almost $1 billion. just blowing money. And then they give kickbacks and doing all this stuff with Hunter Biden and the Clinton Foundation. They've been screwing us and making millions and millions and millions of dollars while we working hard and begrudgingly paying taxes. Looking at that money go, just wishing it to come back. And they are blowing your money and having a good time. It's crazy.
In my mind, I immediately think of our health. I immediately liken that to inflammation. Does that make sense? Are you with me on this? Because we're swung away. We're adding in excess sugar. We're adding in toxins. We're adding in food colorings and dyes and laboratory grown chemicals that are sprayed on our foods, putting all of those fake things into our bodies and then wondering why we're sick, both physically and mentally. So just like we need to cut out the fraud and deception in our government, we need to cut out the fraud and deception in ourselves. And that's how we're going to thrive. Officer Tatum moves on to a Joe Rogan clip. Let's check it out.
Go to Joe Rogan's clip. Roll it.
You say something against them, you're an
Yeah.
So it's through the looking glass,
Yeah.
like completely. But it just shows you how it's really just about conforming to an ideology. It's not about a real core set of standards and beliefs, because the core set of standards and beliefs, and this is where like things like USA come into play, they can be manipulated. They can be manipulated by a mass psyop that you do through the media.
Mhm.
And that is the core thing of this. What we're getting to is essentially the coffin where the vampire sleeps. And that's what USAID is. They found the coffin. You know, and maybe that coffin does hand out sandwiches in Guatemala or something occasionally. But for the most part, what they're doing is they're controlling the entire federal government, and they're controlling the mindset, the zeitgeist of the population. And they're funding all these people that go along with this wacky shit. And they're attacking. They're openly attacking and trying to censor people who go against it.
Yeah.
And they're spending your tax dollars to do so.
Yeah.
And it's just like our health. It's just like our health. They're spending tons of money to make us question the integrity of our incredible chemistry sets of our bodies. And they're have a narrative that's pushed on us again and again through all forms of media, through all movies, from everything you hear over the airwaves to social media. This lie from which the powers that be benefit sucks our energy. It sucks our ability to heal. And they're thriving off of it. So we need to ditch that and come right back in to what's in integrity.
But for the most part, what they're doing is they're controlling the entire federal government, and they're controlling the mindset, the zeitgeist of the population. And they're funding all these people that go along with this wacky shit. And they're attacking. They're openly attacking and
so they're controlling. So through all of the advertisements and all of the endorsements and this idea that you need to have the experimental gene therapy to combat COVID, all of that separates us from this truth that we are incredible chemistry sets on an off the hook planet, and that everything that we need is right here. We don't need these false interventions that continue to make us sick. And your tax dollars are being used to undermine your belief in your own worth, your own value, and the incredible chemistry set that is your body that's operating on this off the hook planet. And it's not always easy to get rid of this inflammation. It's not always easy to ditch that. But when we do, that is when we're going to thrive. It's when we thrive as individuals, and it's how we'll thrive as a nation.
But for the most part, what they're doing is they're controlling the entire federal government, and they're controlling the mindset, the zeitgeist of the population. And they're funding all these people that go along with this wacky shit. And they're attacking. They're openly attacking and trying to censor people who go against it.
Yeah.
And they're spending your tax dollars to do so.
Yeah.
Your tax dollars get funneled to NGOs. NGOs start attacking people that have differing ideologies.
Yeah, usually, and but they did become so disconnected from the average person that my advice would be to, they say like, oh, normies did, this is one of the things I'm hearing online, like normies didn't vote for this, what Elon's doing with those 6, like I need a movie about what these kids are doing, by the way. They didn't vote for this. I'm like, yes, they did. Like that doesn't even, people knew what they were getting. They want something to happen.
You have to
And there's that word, disconnect. It's all about connection, you guys.
rip the Band-Aid off. And the only way to rip the Band-Aid off, someone's got to get into those books and find out what's going on. And what they found so far is very enlightening. And it's not good. It's not good at all. So anybody that's not commenting on hey, you know what? They are finding a lot of unbelievable waste and corruption.
Yeah.
But also, he shouldn't be able to do that. Like they're not even saying he's finding insane waste and corruption.
Yeah.
And he's finding this circular loop of funding. And he's finding this manipulation of public perception on a wide variety of issues, including COVID, vaccines, and the border, all these different things. They were actively involved in the entire country. And no one's addressing that from the left. So they're losing more and more credibility. So all they can cling to is he has access to people's social security numbers and private information. Like, really? Is that it?
Who doesn't, by the way?
The whole government does, by the way. But he's
you
saying that
also get,
is he going to do something bad with it? Like, what is he doing? What he's doing is uncovering insane corruption. That should be the primary thought that everybody has is, oh my God, we have this enormous deficit, but spending is completely out of control. And look what it's being spent on, because this is the first time we're ever getting a peek into the coffin.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We're like, we see it, it's in the dark room. We hear the organ. We didn't know what was in the coffin.
Yeah.
Now we do.
And I do think you have to like salt the earth too, where all the DEI stuff is. They're like, oh, they're going too far and blah. I'm like, no, you got to root this out. It needs to be gone. Like, it's because like you said, it is an ideology. So it's harder to kind of change the minds of people who have been indoctrinated with this in colleges and schools, but get it out of the institution.
1,000%. I couldn't agree with her more. That's why I love Joe Rogan, because he has an open and candid conversation with many people. And I'm glad he brought Trump on, because I think it opened up an opportunity for him to just continue to do more and listen to people on the right side. The fact that people are mad that he's discovering government waste is insane to me. And it should tell you everything you need to know about who these people really are and what they stand for.
What we're saying isn't even a partisan issue. Let's get rid of the corruption. Let's get rid of that muck and swing ourselves back into alignment so that we can heal and thrive. Hey, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, please share and subscribe. Let's grow this channel so that I can invite people on and start having some fantastic interviews. As always, in connection, we thrive. Connection in our gut lining, connection to each other, connection to outdoors, and connection to faith. You are an incredible human being. Know your worth. Make it a great day. Please like and subscribe. Also, check out the links below. Everything through those links below support anti-inflammatory nutrition and lifestyle. Make it a great day.